The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, is directed by Michael Chavez, and it is produced by James Wan and Peter Safran, from a story by James Wan and David Leslie Johnson McGoldnick. And it stars Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Raoul O'Connor, Sarah Catherine Hook, Gilead Hillard, and of course, what's the guy's name? It's not even on. He's not even on the cast list. Ain't that weird? John Noble. Oh my God. It's gonna be a hard review, okay? If you not noticed from my voice, I was so excited to see this movie. This was the worst Conjuring movie I've ever seen. I'm not happy right now. I just watched it. And I'm gonna try my hardest to review it, and I thought just delaying the review, but yeah, this is a tough review, but I'll try. I mean, there are moments I liked in it, but they're a little slim. The movie's a sequel to the first two movies, and it's set during the Devil Made Me Do It case, where a guy kills his landlord, and he claims that he was possessed by demonic spirits. It was demonic possession. Well, it turns out it's not even demonic possession. It's actually he was possessed by a witch. Yeah, witchcraft. Or it's a satanic. Is it satanic rituals witch? I don't know. The whole movie's confusing. Like, I was watching it going, okay, you're saying one thing, now you're saying another thing, now you're saying this thing. All right, what the hell? All right. So the beginning of the movie is really good. I really like the beginning of the movie. Only thing I had some problems with was usually James Wan, and I know it's gonna sound like I'm bashing Michael Chavez. I like The Curse of La Llorona. I thought it was a great film. It was not. Is it the best Conjuring theme universe movie? No, but I still feel like it was a pretty damn good movie. I like the teaser. Still creeps me out. The teaser trailer of the car, it still creeps me out. But I just felt like watching this movie. I was just like, yeah, no. I was like the beginning of the movie is pretty good. I thought the beginning of the movie was clever. I actually liked the beginning of the movie, you know, because it sets up right before, like, with the little boy's demonic possession. I thought that was clever, actually. But then the rest of the movie happened. Like, the first, if they were to stop right there, I'd have been happy with it. But then, you know, even though I had some issues with the little boy CGI'd, you know, demons spinning around, it almost reminded me of It Chapter 2 with the boy's head. They try to recreate that scene from The Thing with the spider head, and it was all bad, but they done it badly, you know, with CGI and stuff, and it made it look like shitty. That's what it kind of reminded me of, that scene at the beginning of It Chapter, It Chapter 2, Conjuring Chapter 3, or Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. And so I saw that scene, and I was like, okay, this is off to a pretty good start. And then the rest of the movie happened, and like, all right, so basically you follow this one dude who is like the devil made, and I thought from the trailer it was going to be a courtroom drama, but then some reviewers said that's not the case, and I was glad that it wasn't, because I'm like, I don't want to watch, you know, the Exorcism of Emily Rose type scenario again. I wanted to watch a good movie. Me and my niece watched all three movies in a row. I actually had never seen Annabelle Comes Home before this, so I watched, because I've seen them all, the rest of them, so I watched Annabelle Comes Home before I watched this movie, just to make sure I missed nothing. I enjoyed Annabelle Comes Home more than I enjoyed this movie. Like, I watched Annabelle Comes Home, I was like, oh, this isn't that good, but, you know, but then I watched this movie, I'm like, oh, Annabelle Comes Home is so much better than this movie, you know. And I was watching this, and I was just thinking, the movie's overly lit. Like, the movie, there's a scene at a morgue, and it should be like, you know, if James Wan would have made it, it would have probably, like, a few lights here and there, but it would have been creepy. Like, there's a scene in Insidious Chapter 2. Insidious Chapter 2, by the way, is not his best work, okay? I will say this. James Wan is not, like, the perfect filmmaker, okay? He has made some movies that are not so good, okay? He would even agree himself. The first Saw movie, he says he has made mistakes in that movie that he wishes he could have gone back and fixed if he was, like, you know, experienced. But that was, like, his first movie, so he couldn't fix it. And he even said, when Saw 2 came out, the guy who made Saw 2 was a better filmmaker, Darren Lynn Bousman, because he did stuff better than he did. Which, you know, factually, I agree with that. Now, you know, that's what James Wan feels. That's what he said. Now, now is, I'm saying now he's a better filmmaker because he's learned from, when you make your first movie, like, you're not going to be a great filmmaker. When he made Insidious, by the time he got to Insidious, he's made, like, 3 films, so he understood what he needs to do, where the camera, and that's why Insidious was so successful, was because he learned from his mistakes on Saw, and so by the time he got to Insidious, 2 and Fast and Furious 7, he already established what he knows and what he doesn't know. I mean, when he gets to Insidious 2 is not that great. Okay, there are moments in I like, though. Like, I think, honestly, Insidious 2 is kind of better than Conjuring 3. I will say that. It's not better, but I'm saying it's a little bit better. All right, and I will say there is a moment at the beginning of the movie where they're in a police station, and the way it's lit, usually it would be like, oh, the whole room would be lit up, and you would see, like any cop show, you would see, oh, the whole room. Instead, it's just, all you see is one little tiny light, and it's just the woman, it's Rose Byrne's character and this cop, and they're in an interrogation room, and all you see is the table, and it's like, oh, the whole room, and it's like a transition shot from out of darkness into that, and it's so well done. And I'm thinking, if they would have done something like this at the morgue, that scene would have been so creepy, and it would have, but instead the whole movie is like that. It's just overly lit. Like, the whole movie is like overly lit, where I'm watching going, why couldn't they just cut the lights off? Like, literally, I would have went with a hammer and smashed some of the DP's lights. Because I'm just saying, this movie is overly lit. And I understand, James Wan did not make this movie. He did the story for it. And I'm not saying it was story, although there is some problems with the story. And I understand, James Wan, they did say they didn't want to do the traditional haunted house theme movie. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Okay, we've done it twice. Let's move on. And at the beginning, they do kind of do that. And then they move on. And I thought that was respectful. And I'm like, okay, James Wan wants to do this traditional thing. And I'm like, all right. And I watched it. And I was just watch it going, the haunted house story would have been probably better. Not going to lie. The first 10 minutes of that movie would have been better if they would have just done that the whole entire movie. If they would have done that idea, the whole haunted house movie of The Devil Made Me Do It, the little boy, that would have been the whole movie a much better movie. That movie would have probably been like, I would probably be giving this movie a B+ or an A-. But instead, they just focus on, oh, this boy, this guy, he's possessed. He kills his landlord because he sees demons and he thinks the demon's going to kill him, so he kills the demon and it's his landlord. Oh my God. And then all you do is hear his loud-ass music playing, which I think the music, by the way, is great. I forget what song I think. I was so sad that I forgot what song it was, but I was just sitting there, I'm like, that's a good song. I like the song. And I'm sitting there just listening, going, yeah. And then they play a song, which I'm like, you son of a bitch. I was like, I like the song. And then they play that scene, and I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to include this. Now I got to say this song was awesome. Now I got to make this scene my favorite because they play this song. And I'm like, this scene was pretty great. I just felt like, I thought it was odd that they made it during daylight, and then they tried to switch it to night real quick. And certain parts of this movie feel like Patrick Wilson, okay, he's usually, like, he's the traditional, like, the damsel in distress in this movie, and Vera Farmiga. Usually, it's kind of, the first movie was kind of, like, in the second one they did that too, kind of thing, where he made him, like, a damsel in distress in a way, and Vera Farmiga, who was Warren, he was, of course, Lorraine Warren's character, she had to go in there and save him in the second one, and kind of, the first one did something like that, I believe, but in this one, it's kind of does the same thing, although there is a scene in the movie that I would say pays homage, or I'm just going to say rip off, The Shining. I love The Shining. Shining is one of my favorite movies of all time. Top 5 movies of all time. And there is a scene with Patrick Wilson's character, Ed Warren, becomes Jack Nicholson from The Shining. He does. He's even wearing a jacket and carrying the axe just like he does in the movie. I mean, you could do a side-by-side comparison. And I understand. They're like, oh, we love The Shining, so we're going to rip off the scene from The Shining. And I'm just like, you bastard. Like, you're trying to rip off one of my favorite movies. Like, literally, they try to play one of my favorite songs. They're trying to get me to like this movie when it's not that good. It's like they're literally intentionally know it's not good, so they're trying to find ways to please fans who like other things. Like, you like this song? Guess what? It's in the movie. You like The Shining? Guess what? There's a rip-off scene from that movie. And I'm just like, yep, they did that. Yeah. there is a scene that I did like where Lorraine Warren was like she was trying to destroy the witches, like her, her desk, I would say, where she does her satanic rituals, and there was like you would see, she could see, like, it's the witch is coming, and it's like when it's right behind. I thought that was a good scene. I thought that was great. I like that build up to it. And there are certain things that I liked. Like I liked the beginning of the movie. I liked that there are like that scene, like the scene. I kind of felt like, I called the twist. There's a twist in the movie about a certain person in the movie, and I'm like, who the witch is related to, and I called it like a mile away. I'm like, I guarantee you. I told my niece, I guarantee it's this person. I guarantee you. And then she's like, how'd you know? I'm like, because it's so obvious. It's so obvious. Like, they're not even trying. If she would have been connected to the Warrens, I would have been like more shocked about that. But the fact is, I'm like, this person, why would they cast this person if that person's not at least connected to the villain? And I honestly didn't know the villain was a woman at first. I was so shocked to see that. Also, Michael Chavez has said that there was a demon that they cut out of the movie because they just felt like they didn't need a demon in the movie because they've always had a demon, which the demon was meant to set up future movies. Like, they were going to do a spinoff of that character movie. And I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. But at the same time, I think the demon would have probably saved the movie because the nun, if they would have took the nun out of Conjuring 2, it would not have been as good. The nun was one of the best parts of The Conjuring 2. And I just felt like the demon would have probably made this movie a much better movie. And so, also, I was going to say, I know I'm just crapping all over this movie, but like, it's not that good. Like, it's really the weakest. I would say this is about as weak as The Nun. That's how bad it is. Like, I was watching this movie excited, and then it just kept getting worse. Like, I almost thought about pausing the movie and just going to bed. I wasn't even scared. Not once did me or my niece get scared. The first 1 and 2, we were like creeped out, like going like, ooh, especially the first one. This one, we watched it and we're like, okay, nothing's happening. And then they did like a morgue scene that wasn't. I'm just saying, it was not that good. It was just. There's some good ideas in the movie, and if it would have been like, if James Wan probably would have made it, it would have probably been a better movie. But I understand he was not. He made *Malignant*, which me and my niece both said we're definitely going to see that movie since we didn't get a good horror film by James Wan. We're going to go see that one because The Conjuring 3 definitely disappointed both of us. My niece is like, this is the worst Conjuring movie I've ever seen, and I'm like, I agree. It is one of the worst. There are like 3 scenes that I liked in the movie. Like, I liked the scene with, like, of course, the Lorraine trying to destroy that. I thought the Jack Nicholson ripoff scene, even though it was a complete ripoff, I thought that was funny. So I'll say I liked it. I guess I'm clear I liked it. And there's a scene where he kills his landlord, where he's playing that badass heavy metal music. I like that scene. And I liked the scene at the beginning. So all in all, I would say those are the 3 things or 4 things I liked in the movie. Other than that, the movie's not that good. I'm not even going to buy this on Blu-ray. I don't even think I will. Like, I bought Godzilla vs. Kong on 4K. And I thought about buying this on Blu-ray, but then I'm like, maybe when it's $5, maybe I might pick it up. But it just doesn't resonate with me. Like, I don't care if I get this. Like, usually I got to go buy this movie, but I just don't care. This movie's not good. I'm tempted to give it an F. That's how bad it is. But I feel like Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga did a great job in those movie acting, so I have to at least give it something better than what that is. And I would say a D- would be my grade. A D-. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm sorry I had to give this such a bad review, but it's not a good movie. It's a bad movie. I'm starting to think Warner Brothers put all their bad movies on HBO Max because they were bad. Like, genuinely bad. Like, I'm scared now that the Suicide Squad's going to be bad. Because it just seems like so far it's been bad. Although I haven't seen In the Heights yet, so there's still a chance that could be good. Maybe. Fingers crossed. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. I'm just saying I'm hoping it's good. I'll look around and see. But so far, I've been disappointed with everything I've saw on HBO Max. I've not liked one movie so far. So, I mean, the closest it came to was that Angelina Jolie movie, Those Who Wish Me Dead, which it wasn't good, but I'm just saying, like, it was better than Mortal Kombat. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. I'm just, hopefully, Luca will be a better movie for Pixar. And when is their next movie? I think In the Heights is the next movie, and then Space Jam 2. I got a shirt for Space Jam 2 I just ordered, so I'm so excited for that movie. I'm so excited. I know it's probably going to be bad, but you know what? It's a kid's movie. I mean, like, Tom and Jerry I thought was bad, but I still bought it on Blu-ray because, I mean, like, it's a kid's movie. You can't really judge a kid's movie. Like, you know, kids' movies are like, they kind of get a pass on me because it's a kid's movie. You know? What are you going to do? Like, Speed Racer, what are you going to do? It's a kid's movie. It's not meant to be taken seriously. If you take it seriously, that's a problem. Okay? But, yeah, that's my review on Conjuring 3. Thank you all for watching. If you can just give this video a thumbs up. And I'm hoping that Michael Chavez does greater things in the future. Maybe he'll learn from this movie and do, like, you know, James Wan. When Saw came out, he learned. He learned, okay, like, there are some issues with this movie. I need to fix it. Which I'm saying, Saw, I love the Saw. And I don't even notice the issues. But he said he notices the issues in Saw. So that's why when he made Dead Silence, he said he learned from those issues. And he brought those and progressed in Dead Silence. And then when he made Death Sentence, he learned the mistakes he made in Dead Silence. And brought those. And by the time he got to Insidious, he was almost near perfect. And that's why I like about filmmakers. Like, I'm sure Michael Chavez said, okay, when I made that, he had some issues, and he brought on the Conjuring 2, or Conjuring 3, and said, I'm going to fix these. And then, I think, this is the second movie, so I'm not blaming him too harsh, but I feel like this should have probably been given to somebody else. That wasn't their second movie. Maybe, I would wish it would have been, you know, David F. Sandberg. I wish he would have made this before he made Shazam 2. So that way, I think this movie would have been much creepier and scarier because I really like him as a director. I have not seen a movie that disappointed me so far he's made yet. So, but that's my review for Conjuring 3. The devil made me do it. If you can, just give this video a thumbs up or don't, and fall down the rabbit hole for more if you want. Bye.